bringing sports, entertainment, and technology podcasts together. This is SPNT.
SPNT's Thursday Tech Talk is brought to you by Stitcher Smart Radio. Download the Stitcher Smart Radio app today at stitcher.com/SPNT. What's happening, everybody? It's Thursday Tech Talk here at SPNT.TV. I am Nick Suberling. Glad you could join us for Tech Talk. Don't forget you can email us at techtalk@SPNT.TV. Follow us on Twitter at SPNT Tech Talk. A lot to get into this week, and I'm glad that I get the chance to hook up with my good friend Nick Wallace yet again here on another episode of the podcast. What's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. What's going on with you?
He's an injured player right now, coming in with a little sinus infection, but you sound fine. You could have fooled me.
Yeah, massive. I'm drinking about 6 of these.
Are we sponsored by Gatorade? That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it?
Well, I'm glad you're playing injured. I look forward to Thursday night for this show each and every week. It's Tech Talk, where we talk video games, cell phones, computers. If it's tech, we definitely hit up on it each and every Thursday night. So why don't we kick things off with our headlines? It'll probably help if I had the music queued up, don't you think, Nick?
Yeah, it might a little bit.
Smooth.
Headlines.
All right, Nick, start us off.
All right, first big story. Another hack going out. This time it's going to affect the gamers. Hackers were able to break into Blizzard servers, you know, the people that make that super ultra popular game World of Warcraft and Diablo 3. Well, they got into the servers and they were able to get email addresses, hash passwords, and the answers to your personal security questions like, what was your favorite first pet? Well, this is a big hack. They recommend going to change your password right now, and they also got into the Authenticator program, so even if you have one of those, don't feel safe.
The Wall Street Journal is reporting that Google is close to finalizing a deal with travel guide publisher Frommer's. Google hasn't yet decided whether the Frommer's guidebooks will continue to be published in print or whether they will eventually migrate entirely to online. It's also possible that the Frommer's brand could be melded into the Zagat brand, which was also purchased by Google in September 2011 for just over $150 million.
The Apple-Samsung trial continues to move on, and Samsung put forth the ultimate defense in the press, saying that whether or not we stole Apple's tech, Apple stole it first. I don't know how this, stance is going to play out in court, but we'll see.
Sony's PlayStation 3 is finally getting a native YouTube app, complete with all the bells and whistles, including search, your personal subscription queue, and second screen navigation. YouTube started rolling out the app for the PS3 Tuesday morning, and owners of the game console who live in North America can now download the app through the PlayStation 3 store. The new app allows you to log in using your YouTube credentials and then access your subscriptions, watch list, recommendations, and uploads. You'll also be able to use your phone or tablet as a remote control. This type of second screen action currently only works with Android mobile devices, but with the recent news that Google is building its own iOS YouTube app, one shouldn't be too surprised to see similar functionality coming to iPhones and iPads as well.
With Gamescom going on in Germany and Sony being the only company that showed up to this huge convention, all news is PlayStation. They announced some huge stuff about the PS Vita that people have been waiting for years. Games, features, and they're even upgrading PlayStation Plus.
It would help if I had my microphone on, huh, Nick? EA has announced that the next major installment of SimCity will be headed to the Mac in February 2013. The game will debut on both the PC and Mac, but PC users have access to an early beta starting tomorrow. The Mac version of the new SimCity will be available as a digital download through EA's Origin. Pricing has not yet been announced. And that is a look at this week's top tech headlines. Coming up, we'll dive into the stories a little more, but first, a reminder that you too can help support SPNT shows, much like this one here. If you're an Amazon shopper, simply use the SPNT.TV Amazon affiliate link to make your purchases. It doesn't cost you a penny extra, but it will help us here at SPNT and help pay for cool things that shows like this need. Nick, so it's been a busy week in the headlines. Let's dive a little deeper into these headlines.
All right, yeah. Let's first talk about it's a slow news week when it's coming down to the actual tech stuff. It's a bigger game week since Gamescom is going on over in Germany right now, and everyone's announcing new products either later this month or early next month. So tech news is slower, but we got some good game news this week. First big story is hackers break into Blizzard. Now, you never say nothing's too secure, but I expect a little bit more from a company who's been running World of Warcraft since it seems like forever. And, that they were able to breach in and get your information. Good news is the passwords were hashed and secure, so they don't know your password, but they got your email address and the answer to your personal security questions. Like I said, what's my favorite first dog? So if you use the same question on the same services like Google or even Facebook or Twitter, you got to you got to change all those too, because if you use the same answer, those are all broken into as well. This is at least this in this case, it's not as bad as the rest of the hacks where the passwords were not, cryptoed. This one, at least they were cryptoed. Battle.net still recommending you change your password, even if you have one of these little key fob things. I have it on my phone. I have the Blizzard Authenticator, so when I log into Diablo or World of Warcraft, I have to type in an extra code. Those were compromised too, so I had to, unauthenticate it, then re-authenticate it just to make sure I got a new code. So it's seems like all the big stories I'm seeing now are these hack stories, week after week.
Yeah, it's like we can't avoid it. And we talked about it last week on the show about changing your passwords and security. And you're right. It's almost like there's nothing that can stop these people from getting into these accounts. I mean, it's starting to become I can't trust anybody.
No, it's getting to the point where you have to put your faith in certain companies. Like LastPass, like I said last week, has been certified by Steve Gibson as a password manager. So every service you have has a different password. So if Blizzard messes up and you lose my password, it's not going to compromise all my other services because I don't use the same password.
Well, the moral of the story, it's just change your passwords. Be careful out there, folks. We talked about it last week with LastPass. Try having a different password for everything. I don't know how else to better explain it. Be careful. Just, I mean, what else is there to say, Nick?
There's nothing else to say. This is just a good reminder because people see these stories and think the gaming world's not affected. If you were a Sony gamer last year, you were definitely affected, like me. And this is just a good reminder to the gaming community. You have to do the same thing that the people just browsing the web have to do. Keep your accounts safe.
Nobody is immune.
No one. But another huge story this week, Google working to acquire Farmers, which I never can say right, travel guides from Wiley. This is huge to me because they already got Zagat to get the reviews, right? And now they got this to do the travel information. This is a big win, I think, for Google. Because I think the new frontier is maps. I mean, look at the last announcements at Google I/O and the iOS. Maps. So all maps. This is a huge win if Google gets this acquisition approved.
Well, it sounds like it's going to happen. I mean, it's almost pretty much a done deal. $24 million, I think, is what I read. I would probably guess that's probably a win for Frommer's. I mean, they've been printing books probably at a loss, considering all the content that they're able to provide is probably online somewhere else. So this is probably a win for both sides.
Oh, definitely. Google needs the information, and books are dying. I mean, the encyclopedia is going out of print. I think it was this year was the last year the Oxford English Dictionary was going to have books. They've been looking at this and doing online stuff more. The books are eventually going away, so to acquire something that is so high valued in the travel industry as these guides, huge win. huge win, and just puts another big dent in this battle between the two mobile platforms of iOS and Android. And Android's going after these maps big time, not by innovating internally, but getting everything they can that's externally. I loved having the Zagat ratings in addition to the Yelp ratings. It was kind of nice to see that. So I knew that this restaurant really was good because Zagat used to be a paid service. So having that in there, huge.
I guess it's not really a win for the people working at Frommer's, because it sounds like they're all going to be out of jobs. But I'd imagine they're all probably going to get a nice little settlement of some kind. But
Google definitely takes care of the people they have to lay off. We saw that. I almost put the story in the rundown where they're laying off a huge chunk of Motorola after they acquired them, and they're taking care of them with a very generous, settlement offer. They're not going to just let them go out there. At least Google is an honorable company in that fact, where they don't just throw people to the street in this dog eat dog world of tech. But I think there'll still be some people, because you still need people to travel to these places and get all this inside information. So those guys will still probably have jobs. It looks more like the publishing end. I'm bet not maybe immediately, but soon the books will eventually disappear from the shelves.
yeah, it's going to be big for the mobile devices on Android, especially with the ability now to incorporate all the travel guide information, like you said, into Google Maps, into the navigation that's built into these Android devices. So yeah, I think it's good for the users as well, as long as it's free.
Sure, with Google it will be free. The Zagat stuff you're getting for free. I don't think you get all. I still think Zagat still has the subscription. I don't know if they've canceled it or not, but I'm sure it still will be free, especially with Google. And iOS users, don't count yourself out. Google makes apps on iOS, so it won't be as integrated as Android is, but at least you still will have access to the data, I'm willing to bet.
There was something that I wanted to mention today that wasn't on your rundown. I heard a rumor about the Windows tablet. I don't know if you happen to catch this on Engadget today, but that go ahead, say what we have this issue still where we talk over one another and I can't hear what you're saying. We have to get that fixed.
I saw that today, the 199.
No way.
No way.
No, I don't buy it for a second. No way. They're gonna get such a big loss from that. There's no way. We're talking about the Windows RT being launched later this fall at a price point of $199, according to Engadget. I just don't see it happening.
It's gonna be interesting if Microsoft does this. The only thing that scares me is there was a quote from Microsoft that said, "We don't care if the $199 price tag pushes third parties out of the market." So Microsoft saying that kind of almost is like, "Whoa, why? You guys confirming this?" You know what I mean? It's almost what Google did. The Nexus 7 is not sold at cost. It's sold at a very slim profit. I believe the latest calculation is they make $20.
Okay, so $199, Nick. I know you're a Snapple. And for those of you just joining the podcast this week for the first time, a Snapple is what we call somebody who's an Apple snob, and Nick is an Apple snob. So at $199, are you a little inclined to maybe explore the Windows world?
At $199, I would be inclined to explore the Windows world. That is a huge, with the power that's in that tablet that they announced, that is a huge price to dominate it at, especially if they do something crazy next year like they usually do around college. Buy a Windows laptop, get a free Xbox. Well, take the Xbox out, put an RT tablet in. That's something you actually use in college. So now you got a laptop and a tablet to take to class. I think Microsoft and Apple and Google would be the companies I think that could do this. Sell at such a loss. Microsoft already sells its Xboxes at a huge loss. They only recently started making money off of them. So if one company knows how to sell hardware at a loss, Microsoft.
Yes, that is a good point. I don't know. I'll believe it when I see an official announcement about the 199. I'm still not a believer. I'm not saying that it can't happen, but 199 seems awfully low considering how much it costs to make this tablet. Now, I do like the idea, like you said, of buy a desktop PC, we'll throw in a tablet, kind of like they did with the Xbox a couple years ago. But I don't know. 199 just seems awfully low to me.
It's hugely low for the RT. I even for the RT, it's hugely low to me. The Pro definitely would never happen. That's running full Windows. That's got some very powerful hardware in it. But 199, man, and that would come with that keyboard and the touchpad and all that stuff. That is huge undercutting everybody just to go out there. But at the same time, you got iOS has the majority of the tablet market. Android's coming on super strong, which is awesome. Google finally stepped up and showed people how to do a good Google tablet with the Nexus 7. Now you got Microsoft's already doesn't have anything. So the one way to win, beat them on price.
That is true. You're going to be getting the tablet out there. I mean, that's for sure. You're going to get at 199. You're going to sell a lot of tablets. I think what they're banking on and they're hoping is that they're going to make it up in app sales. Which, again, I don't know if there is a market for that yet.
I don't. Yeah, that's the one market that's like we've talked about on past shows where all these game designers out there are calling Windows 8 a debacle or a failure because they don't know that this Metro, which is no longer Metro, which I didn't even think we needed to talk about because it was so dumb in my opinion. But this new UI is untested in the waters. People are used to running on a desktop, even though in Mountain Lion they iOSified a lot of stuff. It's still a desktop. I don't lose access to my desktop. I got a file there saved right now on my desktop. I can switch between my browser and other applications very easily. So this is a new era that Microsoft looks like they're going to come hell or high water push us into with a $40 OS and potentially a $200 tablet.
Yeah, I will be making when they do launch Windows 8. I will for sure be getting Windows 8 at $40 and at $199. I'm not a big tablet guy. I've never owned one. I've never felt the need to own one. Now, if there's a reason for me to get one where it will help, with anything here in the studio, possibly I'll explore it. But I mean, $199 is, I don't know, awfully enticing. Obviously, I think that's what Microsoft is banking on because it's going to get the tablet into people's hands, and that's where they're going to get the user feedback as well as the app developers. I mean, you're not going to be able to develop good apps without feedback from users like us.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as a person who's exploring iOS development right now, it's a very expensive market to get in. If you want to develop for iOS, you got to have an iPhone. So you got to buy that. Then you got to buy an iPad. Then you have to buy a Mac because that's the only thing you can develop on. So already owning a Windows machine, going, hey, here's $40 for an OS upgrade. Here's $199 for a tablet you can develop stuff for. That's really cheap. It almost goes up there against Google because there's a bunch of Android tablets out there made by third parties that are outright horrible. They're cheap, but they're horrible. And they don't have that official Google seal, so you don't get the good store and all that other stuff. So now Microsoft's stepping up and saying, well, here's a store, here's a way to sell your stuff, and here's a way to develop your stuff cheap. Holy cow. And for your real geeky persons, if you want to start developing, you can now. The new version of Visual Studio Express is out. Those are completely free. So you get the development tools for free if you're just a one-person app team just looking to make a nice app for yourself.
Well, $199, I'm enticed. You're enticed. I want to hear your thoughts. If you're looking at getting the Windows RT tablet, or you have any thoughts on the $199 price point, make sure you email us at techtalk@spnt.tv. I'm sorry, Nick, it wasn't on your rundown, but I had to throw that in there because I was shocked.
It's a good substitution because there's really not much to talk about with that Apple Samsung trial. It's just getting a little, crazy, nuts over there, but it's a good substitution to throw in there. But the next big thing, we're going to hit up Sony here because Gamescom's going on in Germany. Some huge announcements from Sony. You got the YouTube app coming to the PS3. Awesome. I tried it out. It works amazing. That UI they designed, perfect for a console. I couldn't believe it. Videos played brilliantly. And if they're old videos, they letterbox it just right so it keeps that aspect ratio, doesn't stretch it out. Another big news, all about Vita. Every gamer was wondering what the heck's going on with Vita. E3, they didn't really talk about it much. They just said Assassin's Creed is coming out for it. They said Call of Duty's coming out for it, but they didn't show anything about Call of Duty. Now they showed Call of Duty. Portable, multiplayer, Call of Duty, on the go. I don't know if that's a better way to sell this console or anything. Here's the lovely drug of portable multiplayer Call of Duty. And PlayStation Plus, their service that you pay for but completely optional, huge upgrades to that. You get a gigabyte save in the cloud. You're going to get more free games. This was Sony's big punch to everybody else because no one else showed up. Nintendo never goes, but I fully expected Microsoft to go, but apparently they got nothing to talk on. I'm getting real concerned for Xbox owners here. Seems like Microsoft is more and more dropping the games mantra, going for that entertainment box in the house, getting you to pay $50 a year to watch movies. I'm really getting concerned over that. Yeah, they got the Call of Duty stuff locked up, but Sony's making some serious punches towards gamers, and I think they're going to win in the end here, especially overseas. I mean, America might be lost, but worldwide, holy cow.
Yeah, did you get a chance? I couldn't remember if you still had Xbox Live when they launched their YouTube app. Did you get a chance to use it?
A chance to use it. It's very well designed for the Xbox. I was impressed with that. I've never liked the Xbox Netflix app. After getting a Roku, at first I thought it was great, but then after getting a Roku and seeing the other way to do it, that way was way better. And Sony has the same style as the Roku, so I like that. But the rest of the stuff that Xbox has done with Hulu and YouTube, I think they've done a better job doing it because they embrace that new Metro look and feel style instead of the 3D style. So it runs very fast and smooth. But I don't want to have to pay $50 to watch YouTube. I got a PC in the next room. I can go there. Now, I don't even need to do that. I got a PS3. That'll work with YouTube for free. You don't even have to be a PlayStation Plus member to do that. They also announced that they got this, for all you really geeky anime fans, the Crunchyroll. That's an online website that does anime day and date as it premieres in Japan. That's on the PS3 now. So PS3 is doing this media push the same as Microsoft's doing, but they're announcing games. I bought a game console to play games, not to watch movies. So I don't know, Nick. I know you were a bigger Xbox fan. I was a bigger PS3 fan. What do you think's going to happen here with the Xbox? E3 was kind of here's a Gears of War, here's a Halo, here's some media stuff. What do you think's going to happen to them?
Well, I think they're privately preparing for the new console. I think that's part of it. We don't know what it's going to be called yet. I keep hearing 720 or Xbox 8 possibly to go along with Windows 8. Again, all rumors, all speculation. But as far as the console goes, I think it's on the decline. I know I was a paid user of Xbox Live for 3 or 4 years, and you're right. I don't want to pay. It's not $50 anymore. It's actually $60, and I don't want to pay $60 to play one game online because that's the only game I played was Call of Duty. That's it. That's the only game I play online. I play FIFA a lot, but I do mostly Dynasty stuff or basically doing something within the box. I'm not going and playing other users online. So I do miss Netflix. I do miss the ability to search videos on YouTube. Although I'm not a fan of the YouTube app on the Xbox 360, but it sucks that I have to shell out $60 to watch YouTube videos. So I think it's on the decline. I'm actually looking at maybe getting a PlayStation 3. But then again, I don't want to shell out money for a PlayStation 3 if in 18 months there's going to be a whole new console out.
Yeah, you're completely right, because I'm expecting this E3 coming up next year, we're going to have 2 console announcements. We already got a code name Orbis out there, and the Xbox 360 dev kit, or the Xbox 720 dev kit, sold on eBay. When the guy sold it on eBay, I couldn't believe Microsoft didn't step up and take that down. So there's a dev kit out there, we know the dev kits are out there for the next Xbox, are out in the wild, and people are using them. So I wouldn't buy. I'd maybe think about buying. If I had to bet, I think there might be price drops after Christmas if they don't sell well. So if PS3 and Xbox don't sell well, there's Christmas season, because everyone knows that the new consoles are coming out. I expect a price drop around then. Then I would say, if you're going to get one, buy it, because it ain't going to get much cheaper than that. They got these boxes pretty much down to the wire right now, unless you go buy a used one. I'm just worried that Microsoft will continue this. I'm wondering how long can they keep the people almost baited on paying. I forgot it went up to 60 because I canceled when it was 50. I wonder how long they can keep chaining people along. Now, granted, yeah, they've never been hacked yet. They never had that compromise going for them. So you do get a nice stuff for your money, but really the stuff you're adding in there, having to have it for Netflix and YouTube and all this other stuff, it's really not making it a value proposition just to be able to play online and chat, because you can do that for free elsewhere. And like you said, the YouTube app you thought really wasn't that great. Netflix was nice. But you're already paying, what, $8 a month for Netflix, $8 a month for Hulu, whatever you're buying over Amazon, because I know that's coming to the Xbox. So it's $60 on top of the money you're already spending on these other services. Why would you want to do that? And then Call of Duty players are being asked to shell out another $50 for Elite, if you really are a serious Call of Duty player. So right there, if you're a serious Call of Duty player, let's say you buy just Call of Duty every year, you are essentially shelling out $110 in services plus the $60 game. And if you're really hardcore, you know you're getting a special edition that's over $100. And then, so that's $200 a year on just one game. And that just blows my mind.
I'm probably going to be making 2 video games. I couldn't tell you the last time I bought a video game. It's been a really long time. I'm probably going to be making a FIFA 13 purchase here within a month, if I can make that happen. And then Assassin's Creed, I'm really looking forward to that game. I'm a big American Revolution guy, and I love, and the same thing with the Civil War. I like both of those stories and those theaters, and I think that Assassin's Creed game will be outstanding. So maybe then might be a good time, because I believe that's coming out around November. Maybe then that'll be a good chance to explore making the switch to the PS3. I don't know yet.
I mean, besides Call of Duty, I'm seeing more and more exclusive stuff coming on the PS3 lately. I know Assassin's Creed is going to have exclusive stuff only on Sony's consoles. That's what was on the E3 press conference. Ubisoft, it seems like it's teaming up with Sony a lot more. The only thing to me that really is getting exclusive is Call of Duty on the Xbox. And then they only have 2 really exclusive games that gamers in general care about. You have Halo and you have Gears of War. Sony launches, tons of exclusive studios. You got Infamous. You got, which is the people, you got Naughty Dog doing the Uncharted series, and now doing The Last of Us, which I thought was the best demoed video when I watched the E3 press conference. The guy who was doing the demo literally dropped the controller at the end because it was that amazing. Just drop the mic and walk out. I don't know what Microsoft's plans are, and this could all change with the 720. They really could totally shift it around and totally surprise everybody, but I don't think that they can keep what they're doing now with the Xbox going, with how hard Sony and even Nintendo, despite how much I make fun of them, they still have that hardcore audience of Nintendo fans, and at least they're doing something different with the Wii U. When you got these 2 people coming out swinging with games, just games, and you're pushing media, I don't know if you'll be able to survive against them unless you switch it up for your next console rev.
So if you had to guess with the 720 or whatever they're going to call it, is there any chance that they will allow users to use Xbox Live for free? Do you think that is in there? Do you think it's inevitable?
I think it's not going to happen. I got to be honest. I mean, they've been getting American gamers for since the Xbox launched with this price of $50 a year to play online. I don't think they're going to change their minds until they just see a massive drop in subscribers. Just like you see MMOs. One of my favorite ones, Star Wars: The Old Republic, going free to play because you saw a massive drop in subscribers. That's what's going to take. So people need to vote with their wallets. I always say that. You see the price of Xbox Live games in this recent Summer of Arcade going up. $20? That's insane. I just bought the equivalent games on PlayStation's summer program for $11.99 because I'm a PS Plus subscriber, but the regular price is $15. Now they're going to 20. That blows my mind. And what's it going to be, 25 next? Every year they keep pushing these up. And they obviously are pushing up the live subscription. But if gamers really want to have a say and say, no, I don't want to pay this, they need to stop paying for it.
Which I did, and a lot of users are eventually going to be doing as well. I think because $60 is way too much to ask for me. I don't think you're getting anything of value in return. At least I don't think you're getting $60 worth of value in return. But a lot of users still pay for it. But I think that'll change here in the near future. A couple more headlines before we head out of here. But first, I want to remind you can rate and review the show on iTunes. We want your feedback. So please, we'll include a link to our iTunes page in our show notes this week. You can access the show notes at spnt.tv/techtalk. So please leave your feedback on our iTunes page. We really appreciate it. You can also download the Stitcher Smart Radio app. We're available there as well. Stitcher.com/SPNT. And like we mentioned earlier, our Amazon affiliate link. Please help support SPNT by logging on to spnt.tv/Amazon. A couple more headlines, Nick.
Yeah, we got. I just want to say for you gamers, I always forget to say this, and I know you used to do this. Keep your eyes open on the internet for live cards that are on sale. I know it's a funny thing to see, but you can occasionally get a year of Xbox Live for cheap if you find these websites that are liquidating them. So make sure you keep your eyes open for that. But the last headline I got here, besides our apps of the week, SimCity coming to the Mac in 2013. SimCity was pretty much one of the biggest hyped games at E3 this year. Everyone is excited to play this thing. It is going back to the roots of what SimCity was. I had so much fun playing SimCity 2000 back in the day, building up a city and then destroying it. Now it's coming to the Mac. And this goes back to what I was saying on a previous show. We're going to see more and more games come to the Mac now that Microsoft has taken this new standard with its UI, with its Metro interface. Games need to be ran on the desktop. And you're going to just see this more and more where people are going to be embracing the Mac and other computer platforms to do this.
It's I was never a big. The only time I ever played SimCity, Nick, was on the Super Nintendo. What does that tell you? I mean,
Holy cow.
yeah. I mean, I was never a big PC gamer. I've been a console gamer my whole life, but this is kind of big. I mean, it's big news for Mac.
Big news for Mac. Huge get because you don't think of Mac as a gaming platform. It used to be kind of big back in the days of the Apple II, when we used to have those. Every game came out for the Apple II first. But Mac's kind of died as a gaming platform. But now you're starting to see people come back to it because the users are there. And they already have the App Store where they can just plop them in there. But the good news about this, well, you can consider it good news. EA is going to be turning its Origin service on for Mac, which it already has. It's its Steam service on, essentially Steam-like service on the Windows platform. They're going to be bringing it to Mac when they sell SimCity. So you've seen a company like EA investing money into Mac development. That was a really big shock. I'd never expected SimCity to come out for the Mac. So I'm kind of glad it does. And remember, this is good for all of us. The more we have, the better competition we have between these game companies, the more every user is going to get what they want. So I say bring it on. If you can run it on there, let's play it on there.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. You know, I'm actually. We talked about this a couple weeks ago with Civ 5, I believe. I might have to give SimCity a try again. It's been a really long time since I played that game. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it's a real fun game. I recommend trying it out. And if you get your hands on the old school one, SimCity 2000, maybe at Good Old Games, you can check see if they got it there, or find a used copy or a cheap copy on the internet. So it's worth playing. It's fun, especially when you decimate your city with disasters. You know, setting everything on fire and bringing the monster in and terrorizing it.
The one game that's very similar to this is I played a lot of Roller Coaster Tycoon. That's very similar to SimCity.
Those tycoon games were huge back then. Huge.
So yeah, I'm excited about that. But yeah, I think it's time we do the app of the week, Nick. I still have not got a sound effect. I don't have a little announcer guy. It's the app of the week, brought to you by nothing. So what's your app of the week this week?
My app of the week is a game I'm absolutely addicted to. It's called Song Pop. You can get this game on iOS and Android. Links up to Facebook so you can challenge your friends. Very simple premise. One of those things I wish I thought of. You pick a playlist, so let's say 80s, and then it'll play 10 seconds-ish of a song. And in that 10 seconds, it gives you 4 options to pick the artist or the song name. And you get points based on how fast and how many in a row you do. You challenge your friends. You win coins. It's loads of fun. There's a free version, which I'm using, and there's a $1.99 version that gets rid of ads and gives you a little bit more higher quality music. But the free version, the ads aren't that bad, so I recommend try out the free version. They're not that intrusive. They pop up maybe 2 to 3 plays. It's hugely addictive. I love it, and it's awesome that it's on both platforms, so everybody can play this incredibly addictive game.
So that's what I always see on people's Facebook timelines.
Yes, that is what you're seeing. It's blowing up huge. And then what's going to happen is the same thing as Draw Something. Some company's going to buy it, and then no one's going to play it anymore, and it's just going to fade away. But for now, I recommend playing it. Loads of fun. You can buy different playlists. For our video game fans out there, there actually is a video game category out there. And it plays some obscure stuff. There was a couple I didn't know. I've never played the games, and I never heard of them. So it's like, wow. But I mean, you'll jump out there one. Like, it played the Super Mario Brothers theme in the one I was playing, so you'll obviously know that one. And it has all kinds of music. I'm a huge heavy metal fan. I bought the heavy metal playlist just so I can throw that at everybody that I know doesn't like heavy metal and just totally dominate them. It's because you get to pick the playlist in the beginning. It gives you an option of 3. So if you know, like, I have friends that know I know nothing about total or the hits currently because I don't listen to pop music that much. So they throw those at me, and I just have to sit there and get lucky on the whole thing, and it's just loads of fun.
I'm gonna have to give that one a download. I'll try that one. And you know, I never played Draw. Is it Draw something? Draw this?
It was fun for a little. It was fun for a week. I played it for like a week on. I never played it on the phone. I saw someone play it on the phone. I'm like, how the heck are you drawing on a screen that small? So I tried it out on the iPad. It was much easier to actually draw something on the bigger screen. But now it's like, meh, done. And that's a big thing with mobile games. With a mobile game, you want to find something that's addicting and keeps you interactive. I think this has the option, just the same as Bejeweled, kept people going because it has such variety of music, and you can keep buying more music, and you can play with Facebook friends the same way I do with Bejeweled Blitz. They keep adding stuff to it that makes it keep me coming back for more.
My app of the week is the Advanced Task Killer. I've had this installed on my Android phones for the past almost 3 years now. And it's an app that basically allows you to kill apps that are constantly running in the background and wear down your phone battery. I highly recommend getting something like that if you're noticing that your battery is constantly drained. Although I don't know if it really helps all that much, but it will help save probably an hour or two maybe on your battery life. I use the free version. They also have a pro version as well. My app, the Advanced Task Killer. If you have a suggestion for App of the Week, email us at techtalk@spnt.tv, and we'll read those suggestions during an episode of the podcast. Anything else we need to hit up on, Nick?
Yeah, I would say the good pick for that app, because when I had an Android phone, I had a lot of battery problems. However, they fixed that on 4.0. So if you have Android 4.0 or above, try something else first, because you might just have installed one bad app. There's not really a need for a task killer anymore. But if you're definitely running one of the older ones, and odds are you are, because Android doesn't get upgraded that often, try this app out. I used to use it too. It works out great. It helps you find rogue apps, because there's tons of free apps you download that, oh, I'm going to try this out. This looks cool. Then it's a bad app. So this helps you find them and kill them. It's a great, great recommendation for Android people.
So, yes, that's going to do it for this week's edition of SPNT's Thursday Tech Talk. Nick, we'll catch back up next week. Hopefully we have maybe some new gaming information and maybe a little bit more information on that Windows RT.
Yeah, I'm hoping we get that. I'm also looking into I'm trying to find a better story with the Samsung Apple case where we can just sum it up a lot easier in this time we have. But you get these one-offs here and there like we were talked about today. So hopefully we get more of that, and it's looking to be probably going to be a little more gaming until we got August. Later this month, Samsung's going to launch their new phone, the Note, and next month is the rumored iOS, or the iPhone 5, I should say, launch, and iOS 6 will probably come out around that time. So the tech news is going to crank up here in the fall. So look forward to having some big-name stories coming up, but until then, we'll keep you informed on all the huge headlines that come out.
That's right. If you want to hear about tech, that's what we're here for each and every Thursday night. You can join us live as we record this Thursday nights at 9 o'clock at spnt.tv/live. We'd love to see you in the chat room. We have a lot of fun talking tech, talking gaming, and a whole bunch more. Don't forget you can email us, techtalk@spnt.tv, and follow us on Twitter at SPNT Tech Talk. Thursday Tech. Wow, I'm totally off tonight. Thursday Tech Talk is an SPNT production. For more information about our other podcasts, log on to spnt.tv. For my co-host Nick, I'm Subes. We'll see you next time on Thursday Tech Talk.